Red Hat Pirates here with the Meta Slang Foxy Pirates deck. This is one of the best anti-meta decks in the One Piece TCG OP 8.5. If you've been getting rammed by Doflamingo, then maybe this deck is for you because Foxy absolutely buries Dofi. Before we get into the deck, make sure you hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, and get at me in the comments. Let me know if you like the deck, hate the deck, or what you do differently. Okay, let's get to the Foxy Pirates deck. I went ahead and turned off my camera for you guys so you could see the cards very well. When attacking, down -3. If you have 3 or more Foxy Pirate characters in play, choose up to one of each of your opponent's rested leaders and characters. These cards you choose do not become active during their owner's next refresh phase. You can do it could be any level, like anything, as long as it's rested. So in this deck, we tried to make it as consistent as possible. We'll just go through the cards one at a time, and then I'll run you guys through a couple combos that you can actually do, and then I'll show you games where I do utilize those as well. We have Mr. 2. We run him as a 3 of. We have Magellan. This is mainly for those Lucci matchups that you play, but he does work decently in the other matchups too. Sometimes you can get him down to the Purple Luffy or in some of those other matchups. He can come into play just to knock people off curves. We have 2 Reijus. This card can be absolutely clutch because a lot of times you're going to be minusing Dawn and going below your opponents. Foxy can actually outdo the leader Reiju on minusing Dawn, so you can do really well, and you can put some nice plays into play and get this card out and get some extra cards. So we run that as a 2. We have 4 Itos. This is one of the best cards in the deck. You need to see this early. You absolutely want to see this early. We have 3 Capotes. This card's phenomenal as well. We run it as a 3 of. It's really nice to see. It's nice to see early, but sometimes it even comes into play late because it can freeze those 6 cost characters. It can it can freeze them to where they can't attack their next turn. If they're rested, they won't stay rested, but they can't attack. So this works well into like carrots, or it works into anything Dofi plays, even the Jozu card. It won't work if you're running my version of the Doflamingo deck with the Sanji Mihawk. You can't freeze those, but any 6 cost or lower. We have 4 Sanji blockers. This card allows you to play it out. If you have 2 or fewer Dawn cards, then you can play it out and it only costs you 3 as opposed to 6, and it's a 2K counter. And there's a lot of times when you're going to be able to actually get this out as a 3, and it's clutch when you do, because you can play like Queen and that together. Like there's combos for that too. It's pretty nice. We have Gina. This card gets slept on, but it's actually really good, and you want to see it at the beginning of the game. And the reason is because it ramps. You go up 1 Don. Tony Chopper. You run this as a 4 of. This is your blocker. It also allows you to ramp Don as long as you're less than or equal, just like the Gina. This one costs 2 to play. Gina costs 1 to play. Pickles. We run this as a 1 of. The matchups it comes into play most often are against, seems to be against like yellow. Works into like Katakuri, and now somewhat into Lucci, but there's a lot of black cards that just trash your card anyways, so it kind of gets around it. But it does work into yellow pretty well. We typically ain't going to need it, and in the event we do, then maybe we find it off search. Foxy, we run 4 of this. This is obviously the best card in the deck. You want to see this. You want to play this every game. It's nice if you see 1 at the beginning. The more the better. Like you want them all if you can get them all. Like you want to play them all. Porsche, this is the one that you mulligan for every time you want to hit the Porsche. You need to hit the Porsche. It's the only searcher in the deck, so Porsche is absolutely fire. And I'll go over a combo here in one moment. You need to mulligan for this card. I'm sure everybody knows what Black Maria does, but she's a 2K counter. If you have no other Black Maria, add up to 5 Don cards from your Don deck as rested. Then at the end of your turn, return Don cards from your field to your Don deck until the number of Don cards on your field is equal to the number on your opponent's field. So this is just really nice. It works really well with Foxy leader ability. Kaido, we run 2 of. This is our big bad of the deck. Like we do have Foxys, but if we need something bigger, then we do have Kaido. Just Don -5 on play, KO up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 6 or less, and then this character gains Rush. So it works really well into Dofi because you can clear 2 bodies every time, pretty much, as long as one's rested. Works well into others too. You can close the game with it, etc. Queen, pretty staple to most purple decks. On play, down -1, draw 2 cards and trash 1 card from your hand. Nice little filter, and it's a blocker, and it's a 1K. Nova Beam, sword. Down -1, give up to one character or leader 2,000 power for this battle, then rest up to one of your opponent's characters. This card can, like, literally win you games. Like, if you keep the 2 Don up for it at times, because you know, like, hey, they can go lethal, you can rest anything. You can rest high cost, low cost, it doesn't matter. So this card is phenomenal. And then the following turn, you can always Foxy them with the Foxy ability. Megadon Ninetales Rush. If you have equal or lower Don than your opponent, active one of your Foxy. Very important that you remember that your Don needs to be equal or lower. So if you're on 10 and they're on 10, you're fine. But sometimes you can get ahead of them on Don, so do be careful with it. I've done it quite a few times. This is a absolutely phenomenal card. It is a game closer. Um, you get 2 of them in your hand sometimes, and you will just be able to swing 7 or 9 or whatever you want multiple times because it works on Foxy and it works on this Foxy. If you're in a state of the game where it's like, oh no, I'm going to lose next turn, but they have rested characters, you can use Foxy, restand Foxy, use Foxy, restand Foxy, use Foxy, and like you can use your leader ability every time that you do that. So you can just freeze everything they have on board. We'll do a couple combos and then we'll get into some games. Um, the best combo you can possibly do with this deck at the beginning of the game, you're going to go Porsche. So if you have Porsche in your hand and you either have Ito or Gina, you need these 3 cards. These 3 are required to have for it to work, for it to actually work. And nothing else can make this one work. So you Porsche, and then you do a search, and if you have this card but don't have this one, or have this card and don't have this one, you grab it off the search, right? You play this one out. You still have 1 Don left as long as you went second and you're on your 4 Don turn. You will then play out your Gina. This will ramp you, and then you use your Ito ability, and that'll take you to 5. And once you're at 5, that allows you to then play out Foxy if you have him in your hand the following turn. The other one you can do is you can Porsche. If you're on 3 Don, it's either your first or second. It doesn't really matter on this one. You prefer to go second in this deck most often because you can get on the Foxy curve faster. But if you're first or second, you can Porsche into Bond. That always works. Porsche into Bond. So you get a 3 and a 4, and you ramp. You do lose 1 here, but you gain it back there, basically. Or you can just Bond. You can just Ito. If this is just all you have this or this. Just Itoing or just Bond, that will get you to the 5, obviously, if you're on 4 Don. That'll take you to 5, either one of these plays. You can't Gina because you have to go lower or whatever, so. Couple other ones. I'm sure you guys know how Black Maria and Kaido work together. Like you can go right back up to max Don after you use this. Like this is really strong combo. Black Maria also works really well with Foxy leader because if you're like, I don't know if I want to Foxy that early and use my leader because I don't have Foxy on board yet, and typically you want to have Foxy on board before you Foxy leader, but Black Maria solves that most of the time because you can just use her ability and then Foxy leader and use that ability, and then you're still even with the other person's Don, so you're safe still. You just got to make sure you have 3 Foxy Pirates on board. But let's show some of those off because I think it's easier to see in game. So let's show off this Foxy deck. All right, so here we got Dofi. He plays out Perona. We see our Porsche. It's ideal, and we have our Foxy in hand. Capote is pretty good in this matchup too. And then Pickles is just counter for the most part. Oh, and then we hit on the Ito. That's what we want to see. So we're going second. He swings 7. We're obviously take. And then we'll be playing Porsche. Yep, and then we'll search. We'll probably grab the Gina. Now, we played it perfectly. Played the Gina out, went up Don, and then played the Ito, and then we get to swing 6. That is perfect. It's exactly what we wanted. We were able to ramp. Next turn, we're able to play out Foxy if we want.
counters out. Okay, he's got another Perona that comes out, so he's resetting up. And he'll just swing 8. I think we take that as well. Yeah. Okay, we see a queen. As soon as he passes turn, I believe we're gonna play Foxy out here. Yep. And then we can play our Foxy. We're able to ramp down twice, and we can just swing 5 at lead. And we can freeze. Yep, we get it because we got our Foxy out, we freeze. So you turn the same turn you get it out because you're able to ramp twice anyway, so you're good. And now our shenanigans begin. The Foxy shenanigans. So not only will he be getting frozen in place, but he's going to have 7s coming at his face. No diddy. Okay, we hit him with a couple of 5s. And then we pass turn. We were able to swing that Porsche there because he can't swing back unless he really wants to climb down. In which case we're still okay with it. We'll just counter out. And we have the Foxy restand here. We're setting good. This game is it's curtains at this point for Dofi. There's very little they can do. He can gravity blade me here. He chooses to bounce the Ito. It's irrelevant. We're able to Ito and we can Capote. We can stop that. We can stop Jozu here. And that's what we're gonna do. Yep. Stop the Jozu. And then we'll swing 8 into that. He has to take. And now we can replay out our Ito to make sure we keep our Don good and refreeze everything. Well, just as leader, but the Jozu can't swing. We'll be on 8 next turn. We're still setting really pretty. No leader ability, no swing. So Dofi really can't even play the game. This deck just, it buries it. If you see the pieces that you need to see right away, it buries the deck. So he's got 3 on board. We're not really worried. Now is the time that we can just swing. We can even play out. We can play Queen out here over Gina. We can do restands. We can do a lot here. I know we're going to freeze. I think there's a question of whether we swing Foxy or not. But if we play Queen, it allows us to swing Foxy, and that's what we did. Okay. And we'll just trash the Ito. We don't need any more of those. And since we're lower on Don, we're also able to play out the Sanji. So we put him over top of the... Yep. Yes, sir. And then we can swing 5 and swing 7 with the peace of mind of knowing that he can't do anything about it. Because not only does he have to climb to hit it, but he has to climb and make his way through blockers. And neither Sanji nor Queen can be law bounced. So he's thinking about countering out of this, but I mean, he's got to know that there's a 7 coming to follow it up. So if he's going to counter out of anything, it'd be that one. And him not countering out, I kind of feel like he doesn't have the counter. And he is in trouble. I don't even know why he thought about that one. There was no point in thinking about it. And we just keep the leader frozen. Even though we can't freeze a character, we're still going to freeze that leader. Dofi does not get to play. We will not allow Dofi to play. He puddings me. We don't. It's fine. He actually pudding me into a Nova Nova beam. Like, the only good thing that his pudding did was it took away my ability to fully counter out of that, but I could have just given him a blocker. Actually, I could have countered out of that still, too. And he quit, so we go next into Bio Lizard. And that was a ranked game, by the way, as well. Um, Foxy just makes Doflamingos quit. Because they don't get to play. They don't get to do anything they wanted to do. So we're sitting on Nova Nova Beam right now, and he's swinging 7. We can counter out of this with that and rest that Teach, and then just murder his Teach to give him a bad 5 down turn. Because the whole reason you play Teach is for that really nice next turn. And then we'll counter out the rest of the way since we went ahead and did that. And now we can just swing 5 at it. Because if he wants to give us 2 cards after already using, he's already going low, and he won't. And then we just play Ito. We ramp to 4. We did have to de-ramp by using that card, but I think it was worth it because getting rid of the Teach early after he already used it too, like, that was to set up his next plays. Um, we do counter out of that one in expectation that he's swinging bigger, and he does, and we'll take that. So we're at 6 now. We do see our Foxy. That's good. Can't use it yet, but we can stop. Yeah, we can Capote. And then I think that allows us to still Chopper. I believe he's at 5, we're at 5, so we're able to Chopper to re-ramp. Yep. Then we can swing 6. And we still haven't used his. Yep. Cool. Puts us at 7. So next we'll go 9. We can Foxy and Kaido after that. Well, we'll probably be using leader ability, so I think that knocks us off the Kaido path, but so he may be feeling decent about his chances here, but it's gonna get, it's because we have that Foxy in hand. It's about to get rough. Swing 7, we'll take it. You do go low life with Foxy sometimes, though, guys. Like, it just happens. But if they can't swing anything once you're low life, it's irrelevant. So we see another Foxy. It's never a bad thing. So here we could Kaido or we can Foxy. We're going to Foxy, I believe. So we can use Foxy ability. We still have 2 if we want to play out another. I think we do. We want to play out another Chopper. That way we can ramp and we know that we can get Kaido out next turn. I think that's the plan. He hit the Graph Blade. Seven, 8. Yeah, we're good. So now we can. We do our freezes. We're good. Yeah. So now we feel decently safe. He's minused on everything. So he's got to apply down to swing. Anything substantial. And we got 2 Chopper blockers. He swings 5. We give him 1. He swings 5. Probably give him 1. Because we know whatever he plays here, we're going to be able to pop. He swings another 5, and we're like, Jesus. We'll give him chopper. Then he law bounces, and he law bounces our Ito. But we have Porsche, so that could change things. Or not Porsche, Reiju, so we can get card draw. So we're going to test the waters. We swing 7 into 5, see what happens. He does counter out. So we go Foxy again, and we just double Foxy it. And I think the plan now is to swing into one of them. Hope that we get it, and then freeze. Yep, freeze, freeze. And he gets out of that too. We re-ramp. We still have a blocker on board. So he has to really apply some down here if he wants to go for game. We have 2K in counter and a blocker, so he can't actually go for game. He swings 5. We'll give him 1. Swings 5. We'll give him 1. And then he swings 6, and we'll take that one, obviously. Okay. Now we got restand, so we know we can double freeze, technically. Swing 7. 7. That pretty much opens the door for Kaido. Yep. Because we can pop the 1, swing into another, and then we can freeze if he doesn't give. And he has no attacks next turn. Freeze. Yep. It's so oppressive. Because like you can get the life low, but you can't do anything if you can't swing. Law bouncing chopper does nothing but help us there. Because we're going to ramp out of that. Yep. Now we're like, we can actually go for game, I believe. Here's what we're thinking. In the event we don't get it, though, we do freeze him just in case. But we can go for it. We were going to leave that 3 standing because we can... Yeah, and then he kills our chopper, so we're like, uh-oh. So then we just restand it and swing. And he doesn't have the counter. And that's because he's playing too many Perfume Femurs. He's got tons of Gravity Blades. I'm assuming he still has Red Rock, so he just ran a lot of bricks. It's his own fault. So here we see our Porsche. He swings 5. We'll counter out of this one because we know he's trying to bait us with that law play. We'll play out Porsche, and I think we're going to grab Foxy here since we've seen 2 of them, and we didn't want to bottom deck every Foxy we have, and we see that there's only 1 Ito, so the chances of us hitting another one of those is big, and we may want to play multiple Foxys. Well, not may, we do. And we know we can just play Bon out off a Porsche. Allows us to swing 7. Yep. Alrighty. He's going to rip life, which his ramp helps us because we're able to ramp as well without taking life with cards like Gina and things like that. I think we're going to take that, yeah. And then we pull a Gina. So that card's just now, it's just free ramp. We don't have to worry about, oh, is our Don less? Because our Don's less. Because it's Luffy. And we get the blocker chopper. That's nice. Ooh, we get double blocker chopper. So we can actually catch up. So we'll actually use Porsche again. Could grab a Gina for counter. Could grab another Porsche to go really wide. I think we're just gonna. I think we grab either a Capote or a Gina here. Yeah, we're gonna grab Capote, and then we just stop his Sangaro, so he doesn't draw cards. Yep. And then we're also able to play a Chopper out still, or Black Maria, which gives us our leader ability for free. Yeah, that's even smart. That's better. Okay, we swing 8 into that. He's got to lose it. And then we are able to leader ability after swinging 5. Yep. Boom, boom. And we get to start our shenanigans even earlier because of Black Maria. And now we know also if we see a Kaido that we get to play it for free later. Well, without having to worry about our following turn being less on. So Black Maria takes this deck to a whole new level. Because you don't have to worry about, oh, I need to see Ito every time. No, if you see Black Maria, you can just use your leader ability before Foxy ever even gets played. So here, I believe we do play Foxy. Or maybe we don't. Oh, no, we're going to go for game. That makes sense. Going for game here is pretty good. He does have a lot of counter, though. Okay, he gets out of that. We're just going to re-ramp it. We have freeze, freeze. We know we can outlast because he only has 3 attacks. He's got to play a blocker here or he just loses now. Okay, so he's going to swing in the board. I think we counter this one. Well, we know it's going to be cleared no matter what, but I think we do counter. And he does add a down to do it. We're going to give him that one for sure. And then he got that one too. But we got 2 blocker choppers. We got Foxy, and right now he doesn't have a blocker out. He gets one out. Okay. He gets 2 out. Okay. Oh, but we see Kaido. I don't think we play Kaido yet, though. Because we know we can freeze. We know we can still stall this out. Any kind of war of attrition, you're going to win with Foxy. So we'll go ahead and use that, and then we get free swing on lead. Freeze, probably freeze a Sangaro, so he limits his card draw a little bit. And he has to give us a blocker there. That's interesting. Either he wanted to play something else out, or he doesn't have the counter. One of the two. I'm assuming he has the counter, but we'll give him one, and then we'll take the other. See another chopper. That's nice. So he hits on a Lin. So now we're in a position to where we can actually go for game again. And depending on what happens here, we can determine what we want to follow up with. We can probably swing a 7 at his face. Or we can play Foxy. We're going to play Foxy and blocker. We just choose to play it the safe route, and we'll swing a 5 at his face. We'll see what he does. Does he want to give up his last blocker? He doesn't. He gives us a Sangaro. We're determining whether or not to swing him. I don't think we do. We got 3 life. He's only got 3 swings. And we got a blocker, so we're still setting fine. Yeah, we're fine. Okay. Lin's only a 7. That's funny. We'll take that one. He swings that as a 9. We'll give him blocker. And then he swings that as an 11. And I think obviously we take that. Now we're in a position to close this thing out. We'll swing 7 just to see what he does. He will counter. Nice. Okay. I think we swing 7 again, or we could play the Kaido, but I believe we play 7 again just to see if. Now we're assuming he doesn't have the counter. So, but instead of Kaido, and I think we go the safest route we can go, put it on Capote in terms of closing the game out. We put that on Capote because we know we don't have another turn. So we're going to swing 9 at him. And then we'll put the rest on leader and close this thing out. Freeze. Then we'll pass turn. Swings 9. We're not really that worried. I think we're counting out his things to see if we can get out of the next 2 attacks, and I believe we can. So we have 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, 8K encounter. And then Porsche as well. He swings. He puts it all on that, so we know we can get out of this. And then we know we got out of that too. And then he just quits because he knows that's the game. So we outlast. Here we got Yamato. They play out theirs, so we're just gonna play out the chopper. We didn't have nothing else to play, and we're like, yeah, we don't have to take free swings. He swings low though, so we can just. We may take this, but no, we don't. It is like it's hard to take her 5K swings because you know she's going to be swinging like bigger numbers. And we'll swing a 0 into 0, see if we can get it. We don't care that our blocker's down now. We'll play him out. Yep, go up 1, and we'll just swing a 5 into 0. Now he'll load up. We'll take that. We don't mind. We need the cards anyways. And we see a Porsche, so that's good. Now we might be able to find Foxy. We do. And then we can cheat out a either a blocker or Ito. We just go ahead and go with Ito. And we still have 4, so we can technically still play a chopper here if we want. Or Black Maria and set up for future turns. I think we're Black Maria in here. That way we can use leader ability now. Yep. And that's what we do. Now she's frozen. She's not able to swing ever again. So literally Yamato is now useless. So you get 3 Foxy Pirates on board and a Black Maria, and Yamato is useless. Because her deck isn't that great. I mean, what makes that leader great is obviously the ability to double attack, and a double attack with Banish is even nicer. So now she's just royally screwed. She hits a trigger. We were reading the card because we were like, what's that do? So it basically allows him to, I believe, KO a blocker. Well, a 2 cost or something around those lines. So we'll play Foxy out. We'll just throw it over the Bon. Return. Freeze leader again. Re-ramp. And then we can swing 5. If we want to. I think we do, yeah. Because we know we have Chopper that we can play out, etc. And now as soon as he swings with another one of those guys, we know that guy's never going to be able to swing again either. Oh, it's Hody. He rips his own life. He rests us. He does swing with that one because he knows, hey, we're going to end up having to KO that one and freeze the Hody, obviously. Okay. And we get out of that. And then we swing at... I think we're... What are we killing? We could go for game, but I think we play it safe. Yeah, we just kill his blocker. And then we're going to swing at his little doggy. Swing at that. The inner issue. He does counter out, but it's okay. We know we can swing again at it if we really want to. And we do want to. And we're going to go big into it because we're like, we don't have anything else we can do anyways. And freeze, freeze. Oh, and he counters out. That's craziness, but he really wanted to keep that alive. We have to give it to him because he was able to KO that blocker. But we see a blocker, and we have another Ito. You don't really want to play two Itos out ever, but we do see it, so we're like, yeah, whatever. And he just quits. He's like, nah, because he knew War of Attrition is a loss. And then we're going into Dofi. We get Porsche. Bounce one back. We found Foxy, and we can get out the Ito. Now, if we were going second right there, we'd have got the Gina curve and been able to go to 5. But because we only had 3 down to work with, we couldn't do that. So now we hit 5. And then the next turn will be on 7. So our Foxy has got to wait. But I think I think we do Magellan here. We didn't really have another play, and we don't want to really swing 5 into leader, and we know we're going to bounce back to 5 to get to 7. Yeah. Yep, super, super easy, and we're not going to swing Porsche. Because we know 3 Foxies on board is what we have to have. I think we do counter out of this. And then he'll probably end up bouncing something. No, he doesn't. Unless he gets it set up. That's what we were assuming was going to happen. We'd have had to play Foxy out anyways, but that's what we thought was going to happen. Now, Magellan being on board, though, is something that he can just never get rid of. He does. He bounces. Bounces our Ito. But we see Gina and Ito. So if we really want to freeze him, we can, and it might be a good idea. Because if not, we're going to start taking some real big shots. Yep, that's what we're going to do. We're just going to Gina and Ito. We can swing 7 into something else. We knew if he took the first one, he'd probably take the second one. And he did. And then we just go Gina and Ito. Then we can swing 5 at lead and freeze, freeze. And we're still on 5 Don, so next turn we'll be able to play our Foxy out. It was more important that we got them frozen. And he just goes ahead and Gravity Blades 2 of our guys, but we're fine still because we have enough with Foxy, so we will play that out. Then we'll just swing 5 at life and freeze, freeze. So we know there's very little he can do here unless he has another Gravity Blade. Oh, he has a Red Rock, so he gets rid of our Foxy. We do have a Queen and we do have a Chopper blocker. We could either do that or we could play out the Black Maria. But Chopper has to be played no matter what. I think we're going to Queen into Chopper. because we do have to be able to freeze. We don't really need Bond here, so we do get rid of him. And now we'll play out Chopper. And then we'll ramp and swing into, I think that, because we don't want him to hit a trigger. Yep. Freeze. So he's yet to being able to, he can't do anything with his Weevil. It's like it doesn't exist, and his leader ability doesn't exist. He's setting on Tendon, but it just doesn't matter. And we have restand, so we know we're able to close out game once we get to that point, because we can double restand. And he bounces our Ito, which is fine. We'll just replay it. We ain't worried about that. He can't swing anything. We got a Porsche now. That's good. That allows us to play out Ito and possibly draw Foxy. So I think we're just thinking for a minute how we want to do this. Foxy's a lot of math. So we know he has 2 swings that he's going to be able to do. So we Sanji into then Porsche. Grab Foxy. Yep. And then we'll play Ito over Gina. Good play because we were lower down. So we were able to get 2 blockers out and a Ito still that we found off Porsche. And Gina's irrelevant. She's just there to use ability. Okay. And he swings 7 into 5. We'll just blocker and do that. 2K. He does it again. I think we'll just blocker in 2K. And then no matter what he does, we can give him chopper blocker, so we don't really care. He's going to swing 8. He'll probably swing into one of my blockers here. Yeah, and we'll just give him chopper. Because we got Foxy right there. So now we get Foxy shenanigans if we want them, or we can try to clear board. We do Foxy. And we'll just swing 5 into 5 and freeze 2. Now we know we have another 5 swing at least with Porsche. See what he gives. He does do that. We could test the waters because he gave us a 2K. We could try to swing into another one and see what happens. I may. We do. And he gets out of it. We can't swing queen here because he has 4 swings, so it's unsafe to swing queen here. Yeah, okay. That's good that we did not do that. So we don't care about Sanji. You can have him. We know we got a chopper blocker, so we know we can still ability at the end of the day. Okay. Five at 5. It would be really ballsy to give him chopper here. Yeah, we don't. Good. We pull Nora Beam, which is good because now we know that that'll give us another turn for survival too. Since we know we probably can't close out here, it'd be rough to close out here. I mean, it's doable. It's technically doable because we have restand, so we can go for it. So we throw out chopper blocker. I think we're gonna play this safe. Yeah, we are. We're gonna go for board. Okay. And then we can use leader ability, freeze, restand. We might as well, yeah. Freeze. Yep. Now we know we got a queen swing still and a restand, technically. And we could use leader ability again if we wanted to. Now we freeze both of his 6Ks, and we can just swing with queen for free, and we clear it all. So now he has nothing he can literally do but throw out 2 cards, and he had 2 cards and a prayer. So now, we got game here really, because we can restand. So we probably start this off with a queen swing, or I mean, if we don't want to go for game, we could freeze him out and stop him from doing anything again. That is the safest. Okay, we stop that from grabbing cards, and then we're like, we know we can go. We go 5 at lead still. Okay. I think the Capote was just to be super safe. Alright, so we get 1 down. We know we can kill the other one still. Or we can freeze him too. And we will freeze him just to be... We're going to go... I think we're going for game here, but doing it in a safe way to where even if we don't get it, we know we have it next turn. Yeah, that's what we're doing. Then we're like, we'll just swing 7 here, or 6 first and then 7. Because we know he only has 1 attack. And we get it. We would have had it next turn either way. We did it the safe way. Alright, we'll take one last look at the deck. So we got Foxy. We got 3 Bonds, 3 Magellans, 2 Reijus, 4 Itos, 3 Capotes, 4 Sanjis, 4 Ginas, 4 Choppers, 1 Pickles, 4 Foxies, 4 Porsches, 4 Black Marias, 2 Kaidos, 4 Queens, 2 Noro Beams, and 2 Megadons. Make sure you subscribe, hit like, let me know what you think of the deck in the comments, and see you next time. Peace.